Hi, Total Recap here. Today we will be going through the events of the 2016 action-adventure movie Deadpool, directed by Tim Miller. Warning, this video contains spoilers, so watch at your own risk. Now let's get right into the movie. In the first scene, Wade Wilson, the superhero Deadpool, is bored in the backseat of a cab. He moves to the front of the vehicle to speak with Dopinder, the cab driver. When Deadpool inquires about a photograph of a female in his car, Dopinder reveals she was his girlfriend till he lost her to his cousin. Dopinder then transports Deadpool to the center of a bridge where Deadpool stiffs him for cab fare. Deadpool waits for his targets on top of a bridge, but not before addressing the audience and making jokes about fondling Wolverine's balls in order to obtain his own film. He then starts sketching the scenarios of him attacking his enemies. Later, he sees a series of vans approaching and leaps into one of them, beating up all the goons in the van and causing an accident that kills several villains. Deadpool's major aim is Ajax, the guy who granted Deadpool his superpowers while also brutally disfiguring him and his appearance. The vehicles collide near the bridge's end, where one thug's head is hacked off with a motorbike chain and another is splattered across a roadway against a sign. Colossus, a massive steel man at Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters, observes the turmoil in the news and invites his friend, Negasonic teenage Warhead, to help him capture Deadpool and stop the chaos. Deadpool is irritated since he forgot his weapon bag in the cab and his gun only has 12 rounds. He keeps track of how many bullets he fires at each thug he kills, and while he misses a couple, he manages to kill 3 men with 1 bullet. With 2 knives, one final thug approaches Deadpool, but Deadpool quickly slices him. Deadpool then points out that this is a new sort of superhero film and that we need to go back to see him so he can properly explain the situation. We are then taken to the flashbacks from 1 year earlier. Wade Wilson is a hired mercenary based in New York City. He obtains a job intimidating a pizza delivery guy to get him to quit pursuing a girl. After completing his task, the girl praises him and refers to him as her hero, which Wade promptly corrects, stating that he is not. At night, Wade visits his pal Weasel at the pub where he works. Wade orders a strange drink named Blowjob and has the bartender deliver it to a large thug, claiming it came from another man. The insulting drink sparks a bar brawl known as the Deadpool, in which people gamble on others' deaths. Wade encounters Vanessa, a prostitute, in this pub. She is a stunning young lady who is drawn to Wade. They form a connection over their strange, messed up lives before beginning a sexual relationship that eventually turns into a romantic one. Wade isn't content with his life with Vanessa until one day he passes out. Upon treatment, a scan reveals that he has advanced stage cancer in his liver, lungs, prostate, and brain. He is more concerned about what will happen to Vanessa than he is about himself. At the bar, Weasel informs him that a man sitting in the corner is looking for him. He introduces himself as the recruiter and informs Wade that he works for a facility that can not only heal his illness, but also provide him with superhuman abilities. Wade hesitates and says that he doesn't want any special abilities and just wants to live a normal life. However, he takes the card that the recruiter gives him. In the present, Deadpool sees Ajax approaching him on a motorbike and throws his katana at the motorcycle, forcing Ajax to crash. The other blade impales Ajax, but because Ajax is a mutant, the sword does not kill him. Deadpool lowers his mask to reveal his scars, allowing Ajax to identify him as Wade Wilson. Colossus and Negasonic. Colossus is then joined by Deadpool's activities and tries to persuade him to join the X-Men. He suggests Deadpool not use his powers for wrong deeds. Deadpool again refuses Colossus's request. While he is talking with Colossus with his back turned, Ajax escapes. Enraged, Deadpool attempts to strike Colossus, but he breaks both wrists and an ankle in the process. Deadpool is cuffed to his wrist by Colossus, but he chooses to chop off his own hand and jump into a garbage van, leaving his hand behind and showing Colossus the finger. The scene again shows us the flashbacks where Wade chose to be cured for Vanessa, leaving her alone in the middle of the night and never returning. He goes to the facility where he meets Ajax for the first time along with his cohort Angel Dust. They inject various chemicals into him and perform a number of experiments. According to Ajax, Wade's cells must be subjected to great stress in order for the mutant cells to activate. Wade is then tortured until Ajax informs him that he is being turned into a super slave and will be auctioned off elsewhere. After learning Ajax's real name is Francis, Wade makes fun of him. Wade is strapped to a barometric chamber apparatus which steadily reduces his oxygen supply. The oxygen is automatically restored when Wade begins to lose consciousness. His skin and face begin to blotch and ultimately disfigure him. Ajax enters the room and informs Wade that his cancer has vanished since his mutation is triggered. His body is now killing his cancer as soon as it can spread, keeping him alive eternally. Wade headbutts Angel and snatches a match from her lips. Ajax informs Wade that witnessing his clients be tormented gives him a twisted thrill, and he locks Wade in the chamber to be tortured even more. Wade strikes a match and tosses it near the oxygen vent, causing the laboratory to explode. When Ajax gets down to check what happened, Wade starts fighting with Ajax. Although Wade has gained strength, Ajax has the upper hand and impales Wade with a bar, pinning him to the ground. Ajax leaves the facility just before it crumbles down upon Wade. Later, Wade is relieved to be alive but terrified by his appearance. He then goes to look for Vanessa, assuming she could be waiting for him. As he walks through the streets with a hood over his head, people see him that are creeped out by his appearance. He is taken aback by the crowd's reaction at first, but as he discovers himself in a glass mirror, he is concerned about Vanessa's reaction if she sees him. As a result, he chooses to avoid her altogether. In the following scene, Wade sees Weasel, who is likewise disgusted by his look and makes a few jokes about it. Wade is encouraged by Weasel to construct a costume and mask to cover himself as he returns to find Ajax to repair his face. Wade takes the nickname Deadpool and begins a campaign to locate Ajax by plowing through his men until he locates him. He begins to make several mask designs for himself. He finds the recruiter, who says what he knows about Ajax's whereabouts before Deadpool then kills him. Meanwhile, Wade has opted to remain with a blind woman named Al. Al is the one whom he met in a laundry station, and she had advised him to make his suit of red and black color. Back in the present, Deadpool rides the garbage truck back to Al's apartment, and his hand slowly begins to heal. As his hand is being healed, he asks Al if he can remain at her house until he is completely healed, and she agrees. In fact, Al is a blind old woman who lives alone in her apartment. To find Deadpool, Ajax and Angel travel to Weasel's bar. The other bar goers turn their weapons on Angel and Ajax as she takes Weasel by the throat. Before leaving, they locate a photograph of Wade and Vanessa together and proceed to Vanessa's workplace. Weasel contacts Deadpool after they depart, explaining everything that happened to him and informing him that Ajax and Angel are on their way to Vanessa's workplace. Wade goes to the strip club where she works after being urged to just confront Vanessa directly, but he is still afraid to approach her. Vanessa's coworker informs him that an ex-boyfriend has returned to find her. Wade runs to the toilet because he is frightened to face her. He returns to the bar after gathering the confidence to confront Vanessa. Meanwhile, Vanessa goes outdoors believing Wade is searching for her, but instead meets Ajax. She is kidnapped by him and Angel. Wade searches for her but only finds her handbag, indicating that she has been kidnapped by Ajax. He also receives a message from Ajax instructing him to meet him at a location to get Vanessa. Wade is furious, so he gathers all of his weapons and heads to the X Mansion to ask Colossus and Negasonic to assist him in reuniting with Vanessa and stop Ajax. He then comments that despite the mansion's size, the studio seemed to be unable to pay him for more than just 2 X-Men. To go to Ajax's location, the mutants hire the same cab from the beginning of the movie, driven by Dopinder. Deadpool hears a cry from the trunk when they hit a bump. When Deadpool asks Dopinder about the noise, he confesses to abducting his cousin in the trunk. Deadpool pretends to be shocked while gently congratulating Dopinder. The three then track Ajax down to a scrapyard. While Colossus and Negasonic combat Angel, Deadpool advances toward the attackers. Deadpool again forgets his weapon bag in the cab and is forced to battle alone with his swords. Colossus, on the other hand, is slammed aside by Angel, but Negasonic charges at Angel with immense force. Colossus begins to pick up large tires and tosses them towards Ajax's troops. To mock Francis, aka Ajax, Deadpool tears apart the thugs and uses their bodies to spell out his name. He sprints up to the containers where Vanessa is being held by Ajax. He suffocates her by placing her in the same barometric chamber as he had done to Wade. Deadpool approaches Ajax and uses his swords to attack him. Meanwhile, Angel dangerously comes close to strangling Colossus with a steel rope, but Negasonic unleashes a tremendous blast that knocks Angel off balance and damages one of the carrier support columns. It begins to crumble, sending a slew of freight containers crashing to the ground. Negasonic and Angel are carried to safety by Colossus, while Vanessa is landed safely by Deadpool. The carrier then completely crashes down. Ajax attacks Deadpool once again until he is held down by him. The mutations that Ajax put into Deadpool are now causing mayhem on him. Deadpool recovers himself before launching a barrage of punches at Ajax. After that, Deadpool points his gun at Ajax's head and demands that he mend his face, but Ajax laughs and claims that there is no treatment for that. Deadpool is about to kill Ajax when Colossus appears and begins a lengthy monologue about the hero's choice to save his enemy's life. When Deadpool has had enough of the speech, he shoots Ajax in the head, causing Colossus to puke. Despite his appearance as a muscular guy, Colossus is terrified of the action. Afterward, Deadpool meets Vanessa and apologizes for leaving her alone. Vanessa becomes enraged and begins punching him in the body. He responds that punching him is fine since he has made a major mistake. Deadpool informs her that he left her because he believed that she would reject him in his present appearance. He then instructs her to take off his mask on her own. She takes off his mask to view his face, but he's wearing a Hugh Jackman cutout underneath. She removes the cutout to see his true face and declares that she is okay with it and will become accustomed to it. As the film comes to a close, they kiss and Deadpool signs off. After the credits, Deadpool emerges in his bathrobe, ordering the crowd to go because the movie has ended. However, he returns to explain that the studio is attempting to get Cable's participation in a sequel. "Chicka chicka," Deadpool exclaims as he walks away. And that was my recap of the movie. I hope you enjoyed it. Now comment on what your favorite part was and make sure to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, take care and goodbye.